for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Hey everybody, it's Boudin and Jay back at you today with a quick review of the Stillare rebuildable dripping atomizer. I've got mine sitting on top of my Bolt 18650 mechanical mod. I have a lot to talk about with this, so let's just jump right into it. I've got weeks of using it, and I'm very disappointed for the price point on this thing. I'm so disappointed about it. I'm just gonna take a toot off of it real quick here. I got some banana bread juice in there from Mount Baker Vapor. Not my favorite, but it is what it is. So I'm talking about the Stillare rebuildable dripping atomizer from Carter. I got mine as a clone on eBay for like 25 bucks, which thank freaking God I did, because at $110 this thing is so poorly designed. Let me just break it apart here and show you what. First off, I put it together. It's like a little red, white, and blue thing, you know, whatever. Anyway, so I take the drip tip off, and that's normally how you drip. You drip into it. And the problem is that they made it a recessed cup instead of a place to drip. That's my first gripe with this thing. The second gripe is, so the way you have to drip is you have to have first off, a drip tip that fits into it really snug, because if it doesn't fit really snug, it's not going to work to pull this apart. You're going to end up pulling the top cap off, possibly getting juice everywhere. It's just a freaking mess. So anyway, you have to wiggle it a bit, and it starts to separate at the seam. Oh, no, my top cap popped out. So now I got to push the whole thing back together. Kind of got to hold the sides of it and try to pull it apart with the drip tip. And the inside comes out of it. So there's where you drip. Then you got this. Okay, now that's all fine and good, right? It's not super bad because you still have a place to drip into it, but it's just still inconvenient. My third gripe about it is that this is a dual atomizer. However, I'm not a dual coil vapor. I like to vape single coil. I use, 2 strands of 28 gauge Canthol with a couple wraps to give me a good, low, sub-ohm build. Something that's going to hit decently on an 18650 or even a, sometimes maybe an 18350. Major gripe here with the top cap piece is that because this is a dual coil build, a dual coil dripper, they put 2 holes on it. Okay, now I don't know what possessed them to not think of the single coil vapors and just put a single hole on the side, so then I could turn it to adjust it for my single coil needs. Okay, at $110, plus shipping at some of these places, that is what is expected of a high quality product. You would think they would keep the vapor in mind. That's what the product's for. It's for the vapor. I'm a single coil vapor. Why not think of the single coil vapors? As for the rest of the design of it, I do like the fact that it has Phillips head screws gold plated on top. And these screws are so much better than the Chinese garbage with what is it called, Allen key screws. Okay, all the Chinese garbage has Allen key screws, and the Allen key screws strip out within like a week, and then you have to rig it up to unscrew it and rescrew it. And I had the same problem with my my Chilioses. And now that's why I went with the Stillare, because I had heard so many good things about it. Unfortunately, I hadn't fully done my research on it. Now, the cool thing is that it has these big fat daddy air holes in it on both sides, and you just kind of turn the inside cap to adjust the airflow. I don't know if you can see, that's about half airflow right there, but it's on both sides. It works the same on both sides. So, you're still gonna have the same amount of airflow on both sides, but it is a good thing that you can, slide that closed, because it does give you a tighter draw. It still works for me because I like kind of an airy draw on it, but for, like I said, for $110 plus shipping, they should really have designed these a lot better. Those are my main flaws with it. As for, things I like about it, it does vape pretty well, considering, the dual air hole thing. It does vape pretty well. I haven't had any trouble putting builds on it. The 28.2 strand Canthal fits right through the holes. I'll go ahead and show you the deck real quick. There is something I don't like about this deck, which I did get used to in my Chelios, and that's that it doesn't have that big of a recess for juice to sit in. Okay, if you'll notice though, I did lose one of my screws, so no big deal, because like I said, I'm a single coil vapor. So I'm not a big fan of how this piece slides over the other piece here, and it's just the way it goes together kind of bugs me. So let me line up my coil with my air hole here and put it back together and take another hit. So yeah, you can see that it vapes pretty well. I know a lot I was using stacked batteries. This time I'm using just a regular 18650. You have to make sure though with your 18650s on mechanical mods that they can handle the load. So that information you can get on Android phones. There's a program somewhere, I'm guaranteed, to say that there's a program for Ohm's law. I have an Ohm's law program on my phone where I just punch in the resistance and the voltage, and it gives me the wattage and the amp load and everything else. So it's a really good tool to have, especially with variable wattage or variable voltage devices, or even variable wattage, variable voltage devices, because you can kind of pinpoint your sweet spot. If it tastes good at a certain voltage, but it could taste a little bit better, you can always go and change the go into wattage and increment your wattage to just match that taste point, where it's going to hit just right. Or if it needs to be a little lighter, you can do the same thing. Well, I'm rambling. Let me get off my soapbox here. Yeah, that's about it. The Stillare Rebuildable Dripping Atomizer by Carter. That's about all I got. Thanks a lot, and like and subscribe.